Wow, that was something I was longing to do for a while now. A glimpse into the history of this channel, including some very important paintings in my life. Today, it's all about colors, a style that I am very fond of and the contemporary art is very curious about. A style often criticized for decorative color choices and pleasing subjects, but loved by the modern world.
Our hearts beat to the city streets.
Hello guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. This video, even though late, is very important for me as it has been a silent spectator of the struggle going on in my life for the past 1.5 months. Remember a few videos back I shared the news about renting a new house. Well, I had to change my job and residence again just after 3 months. Even though job insecurities and unemployment are the essence of a third world life, I think anybody in this vast world can have an idea and relate to such circumstances. Anyways, this is the new studio that I set up in the newly rented house. And looking at the positive side of things, I get to drive every day through these luscious backwaters and paddy fields to my work. Spontaneous realism, by definition, is painted from realistic references using abstract elements, bold color schemes, and apparent brushstrokes. Voka, an Austrian painter, developed it as his personal style, but now it is more like an art movement in painting. It is spreading in popularity day by day, but the critics and museums are still refusing to accept it as quality art. Personally, I don't think I am qualified or educated enough to judge or comment for or against this art form. But as an art student and an amateur artist who relies on YouTube and internet for his studies, I would like to try and experience the techniques used in this style of painting. I like this style of painting a lot and believe I had it in me even before I was acquainted with the art movement through the internet. I tried painting with unrealistic colors during my formative years in schools and college and had no idea about spontaneous realism. Then one fine day, I discovered it online and was awestruck by the beauty of it. I think the beauty came from the contrasting, or perhaps I should say the complementing ideas of realistic foundation and way unrealistic colors. The spontaneity in brushstrokes and addition of abstract elements can be considered the individuality of the artist. If you ask the critics, they say spontaneous realism was just a need of the hour and not a special ability or a thought. And art is all about ability and not a want in the market. But if you ask me, a realism painter is able to paint only realism, and an abstract artist is able to paint only abstract naturally, and not vice versa. The fact that they can sometimes do both is due to the market requirements, and you can clearly see a difference when this happens. Voka, in one of his interviews, shares the memories of the style spontaneously evolving in his life. He was doing realism to start with, then wandered around surrealism for some time, all the while practicing sketching and painting realism. And I believe the years of practicing realism led the artist to this inevitable consequence of trying on different colors. The era was witnessing an invasion of acrylics into the fine art world as a popular painting medium due to various reasons, and they crossed paths, resulting in something we call serendipity. He himself couldn't explain it and called it spontaneous realism, as it was all spontaneous for him. In the interview, he mentions about a phase in his life where he was experimenting with watercolor in realism, which helped him loosen up a bit, and which he thinks is the basis of the loose expressive brushstrokes in his style. All those cues which he unknowingly mentioned were the evolution of spontaneous realism. As a watercolor artist who relentlessly practiced in watercolor realism, I can say that this was a non-random process. Acrylics, with all its color choices and unrealistic neon palette and rapid drying time, was the random mutation that occurred. The market economics, which I believe is the purest science and which cannot be corrupted by politics, responded and selected it. This selection maybe was not in favor of critics and museums. Art suddenly was devoid of thought and was just a beautiful painting. Collectors were naturally attracted to the unrealistic colors and spent money to acquire the paintings as decorative pieces. Voca was intelligent enough to market it as such, along with the rise of social media, and the whole process took out critics from the equation. Museums didn't like it either because it took away the antique value and investment value from the art and just capitalized on the decorative value and beauty. But evolution is an inevitability, and like time, waits for no man. Above all, art is the most inclusive space I know, and it is so subjective that each person can decide what art is for him. Maybe the critics can feed on those art illustrations in exhibitions that nobody understands, or explain those blobs of paint splashed onto the canvas by the modern artist. But for me, spontaneous realism is pure art, and maybe is a modern realism, just like classical realism. I know what you guys are thinking. Who is it? Al Pacino or maybe Ranbir Kapoor with a makeup? You can comment in the comment section below. If you wish to buy any of my paintings or prints, please visit ginjuart.com. And if you enjoyed watching this, here is a video that I think you should watch next. That's all from the video, guys. See you all in the next. Till then, take care and bye bye.